Ream is off to the World Cup. That sounds pretty cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of a roundabout way to get there. Not the most conventional way, but yeah, pleasing for sure, because it's something that I feel I've earned.
And your last cap was about a year ago now, I think. So as far as timing goes, it's pretty good timing to get back into the squad now.
Yeah, absolutely. Last October was the last time I'd been in with qualifying and everything that brings, and here we are. Wasn't sure if the opportunity kind of passed me by, and other guys took advantage of myself not being there, and to be sitting here today and being in that squad and going to Qatar is a pretty special feeling.
I know when journalists ask you about your ambitions of going to Qatar, you've always sort of downplayed it and said you're focusing on Fulham. But with your performances this season, obviously playing at the highest level possible, you must have been quietly confident of your chances.
No, to be honest, I wasn't downplaying. I really wasn't thinking about the national team and about Qatar, because at the end of the day, it was never down to me. I knew obviously you have to perform to be in the picture, and I felt like I was doing that, but at the end of the day, whether it happened or it didn't wasn't going to make or break me. And obviously, when you get the opportunity, it's a massive one. It's something that as athletes, as footballers, we dream of as kids. But I knew at the end of the day that it wasn't going to define whether I played well or didn't play well. It was just going to be a kind of a knock-on effect, and if it happened, great, and if it didn't, I was okay with that. Disappointed maybe once the time came, but I wasn't downplaying by any means. I was completely focused and committed to playing well and performing here, and maybe that gave me an edge. Maybe that gave me an advantage and a freedom to go out and just do my thing.
But in terms of your own individual performances and contributing to obviously Fulham's start to the season, were you thinking I've got a good shot here?
Yeah, I think it can be in the back of your mind. I think if you continue to play well and play on a regular basis, you always give yourself a chance, and it wasn't anything that I was having conversations with myself or conversations with others, but in the back of your mind, of course, you think, oh, if you continue to play well, you're going to put yourself in a good position. Whether that comes or not, again, it's not up to me, but yeah, it's something that if I said it wasn't, on the horizon, a World Cup is coming. There are a few things that could potentially happen, and in order to put yourself in the best position possible, you have to be performing, and my performance, they're not because I thought, oh, I'm giving myself a chance. It was just because I wanted to perform. I wanted to be playing every week, and here we are.
So you're going to be a wise head in what's a very, very young squad, but that experience that you've got will surely be something that the group's looking to utilise around the camp as well as in matches.
I would hope so. I would think so. But I'm also not there just to make up numbers. I'll obviously help out in any way that I can, and being a wise head is a nice way of saying I'm fairly older than the rest of the guys. I think without me, it's probably the youngest squad in the World Cup. So listen, I'll look to help in any and every way possible. Whether that's tendencies of our opponents, whether that's making sure guys are staying sharp mentally and physically. I'm there to help, and that was a conversation that was had with the manager, and he told me that I can be there and help the guys. Obviously, I'll be pushing to play as much as possible as I always do, because that's my mentality and the way I am, and hopefully I'll get some minutes there.
And with how much talent there is in that US squad, is there confidence back home that it can be a productive tournament?
Truthfully, I have no idea. I don't know what it is back home. I've purposely stayed off of social media since last season's triumph, and so whatever's being said is being said. At the end of the day, it's noise, it's media, it's social media, it's everybody has their opinions, and I've not been in amongst the group, but having conversations with Jedi and some of the other guys, I know what their confidence levels are, and I know where they want to be and what their goals are. So we're gonna go in there and obviously try to achieve our goals in the best way possible, and make it as far as we possibly can.
And obviously, like you mentioned, Jedi there, he's going to be going with you. How good has that guy been the last since Marco came in? He's been on fire, hasn't he? Really?
Yeah, absolutely. You can say that about a lot of the squad here, and playing next to him for the past 15 months is, we've formed a great kind of partnership on the left side, but he's just gone from strength to strength, and he's improved parts of his game that needed improving, and he's become a much more well-rounded player, a well-rounded individual. Plays to his strengths, but also knows that what to work on and how to become better. And like I said, you can say that about every single guy on the team and in the squad, and he's right up there with one of the guys who's really kicked on and done really well.
How excited were your family when you told them that you're going to Qatar?
I haven't told them yet. It's been a well-kept secret to this point, but from myself and with my family, and my kids were unsure at the time because we'd kind of been planning a little bit of a holiday, and once they kind of wrapped their head around it, and I explained what it means to me and what it means to the club and my dreams and my goals, they've been asking every single day when they're getting on the plane and going. So. Listen, in my house, it's an exciting time. I'm sure once the official announcement, is made and it's out there, publicly, officially, I'll be getting a lot of text messages and phone calls from friends and family back home. Yeah,
I was going to say, for the purposes of the tape, we are speaking before the announcement's been made. But having them out there supporting you, that's going to be pretty special, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. It's whenever my kids come to the matches, it's always special. My wife as well, and I play for them. I like to make them proud and want them to be there and experience the joys and the roller coaster that is the game, and to be able to have them out there is going to be it's going to be special. It's going to be cool. It's my obviously last chance, and it's their first chance to witness what the World Cup is and what a spectacle it is.
Let's talk a bit about the group. It's a quite tasty group. Starting with England, you've obviously lived here for so long now. That must be a match you can't wait to sink your teeth into.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, it's a good group between ourselves, Wales in there, England, Iran, a lot of good storylines. But being here for the past 10 years, it's you watch you watch a lot of these guys that you're going to be playing against. You play against now all these guys that you're going to be playing against. So it's a fun group. Tasty, I think, is a very good word for it. A lot of good background stories, background connections, and it'll be tough. But every single match is tough. But I think it'll be enjoyable and hopefully a group that we do well in and move on from.
And a big Fulham subplot in the Wales match.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of background stories, a lot of background plots, background connections. Potentially, 4 of us, playing in a game, with different connections as well from past players being here, and so yeah, it'll be interesting. Harry, before the game the other day against City was like, once this game is finished, there's no friends anymore, there's no conversations, and we made the point, well, we still have United, and he's like, I don't care. We'll prepare for that one, but there's not going to be any friendships and hugging and high fiving after City.
The States obviously didn't qualify for the last World Cup, but your performances at the age of 35 are as strong as they've ever been. Is it almost kind of poetic how the stars are aligning now?
Yeah, I guess, like I said in the beginning, it's unconventional. An interesting way to do it. But I feel as good as I ever have. I feel as fit as I ever have. I'm seeing the game as well as I ever have, and reading situations the best I ever have. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I think age is a number. Age is just in your head, and you limit yourself as much as you want to, and for me, I try not to limit myself. And so, to be here at 35, what is, I'll say potentially, which it really should be my last chance. To be given the chance and the opportunity now, missing out on the last one was pretty hard, but it makes it that much more special.
And can you put into words what it's going to mean to you to compete at a World Cup for your country?
No, I can't. It's the pinnacle of our sport. It's the biggest sporting event in the world. To be there representing the U.S. 300 million people. Pressure is immense, but it's what I've dreamed of from the time I was a kid. So I say I can't put it into words, but there are my words. It's a dream come true, and something I'm proud of. I'm proud that I've earned it. I've done it a little bit of a different way, not being involved in the past 12 months, but yeah, it's a special feeling, and one that I'm definitely looking forward to continuing on in the next couple of weeks.
And as a group, do you set any expectations, or is it just looking at match by match and hopefully progressing as far as possible?
I mean, I think if you're being honest, your expectations are getting as far as possible. I think if you limit yourself, like I said before in my personal performances, if you limit yourself, then you're doing an injustice to yourself. So I'm not saying we're going to win it, but I think that has to be the goal. And getting as close to that goal as possible, sets you up for success. If you limit it and say, oh, we just want to get out of the group, well, then you're doing yourself a disservice, like I said. So yeah, we'll look to go as far as we possibly can, and if we can get to the final and win it, I know people are probably going to laugh at me, but that's okay.